Hey, what is up everybody? Late for here and sorry for you guys another video, Persona 5X. That's today's video, guys. We're going to be going ahead and doing the Compendium series for the persona named Jikokuten, who is a very strong all attack buffer. Now this is one that you can get very early in, so they're not going to have a lot of persona skill slots here, so it's going to be pretty quick as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please do smash that like button and consider subscribing if you're new. We do daily videos on P5X all the time here, and we're only going to continue doing more, as well as other little series are starting to be developed, so look forward to that. Now we went over this, let's go ahead and get into the video. So as I did say before, Jikokuten is one of the most all-around and actually just heavily attack specific personas here. And the thing with him is you can do this consistently. It's not something that revolves very late game or anything like that. It's something that you can get early game while also doing a easy 2-turn method, though he can be changed into somewhat a 3-turn rated persona. This is mainly going to come down to at least his actual I said 3 different words there, but it's his actual passive here, and this is going to be the Wisdom of the East. With this itself, it increases his defense by 15.9%, and then after using the skill on the ally, it increases the main target's attack by 15.5%. Whenever the, of course, target HP is below 60%, it then can increase both of these effects for 2 whole turns. Now this is the real good part about this persona, seeing that not only are you helping yourself out in defense wise, but you're also helping yourself out attack wise. So you do have those 2 options with this persona itself. But this persona is mainly going to be used not only for that main passive, but kind of as a just buff meter here, and an attack buff meter at that, where Terukaja is going to be the thing that makes everything go round. For the signature skills, Terukaja, as well as of course the highlight, the only thing that's really good about him is going to be the Thief Tactics highlight here, seeing it increases the party damage by 25.4% for 2 whole turns. The signature skill itself isn't really all too good. You don't really have to use Terukaja that often, nor will you. Of course, if you wanted to, you very well can, and this is just in the option of you want your whole team to have an AoE buff here, but normally you're not using this on this persona. You're always going to be using one of the inherited skills, or that you can end up getting, or just any skill that's just not Terukaja here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and further develop on this. Regarding at least this persona, the only important skills that you do need to know about are going to be, of course, Terukaja, Rakunda, and Rebellion. Now Rebellion I don't have on this persona just yet, so we only have Terukaja and Rakunda, both of which are obtainable fairly easy. We go ahead and check out the teach skill area, and we can check the actual the actual inherited area for the buffs. Terukaja itself is able to, of course, increase our attack by 14.7%, and then for every 500 of the user's attack, we're able to increase the target's attack by 1.2% more. This can go to a max of 9.9% and can last for 3 whole turns, pretty much alluding to a 3-turn rotation, unlike its passive that's a 2-turn rotation, but we can still make it work. This can be gotten from the Kodama seal, which is a very early type persona here, and is going to be one that you're going to get really acquainted with. Now the next one that we were talking about is Rakunda. Rakunda itself is a debuff. It's for some reason actually in this little buff section, which made no sense, or at least it was in this buff section. I wonder where it went now, because normally it would be around here, but I see that it's no longer here, which is weird. Oh wait, no, there it is. My eyes just deceived me. This one here decreases one foe's defense by 36.9% for 3 whole turns. There are going to be times where you do need to use him as a beacon for debuffs here, but the reason why you're using him here is mainly going to use this said debuff and also get that attack passive from its just general swapping of actually this persona, which is already good to have. Seeing that you're able to do this, you can then have a little bit of both, best of both worlds, a little bit of defense down, and as well have a little bit of attack up. So this actually works out in your favor. Hence the reason why Rakunda is actually pretty nice on this persona, but this is another one that you can of course decide to get. If you do decide to do so, you can build it with Leonon Slide. I keep calling her Saeed, but Leonon Slide here, which is another persona that you can end up crafting. I know they're an early game persona, as you can see, but they still can take a little bit of crafting materials, so sure you do keep that in mind. Then of course the last persona skill that you guys are going to want to look at is going to be the Rebellion. Rebellion is a very powerful skill that you can end up getting from Dakini. A lot of you guys aren't going to be slapping this on Jikokuten right away. If you do have it on there, of course, holy crap, pat you on the freaking back. And the reason why it's so expensive is because Agility Master and Rebellion are both on here. Both of them are absolutely good skills here. Rebellion increasing one ally's critical rate by 9.3%, and then for every 10% of Wonder's critical rate, it will then increase the target's crit rate by 1.6% more, up to 6.4% at max. This will last a 3-turn session, and seeing that many of us with Jikokuten do like trying to set up a 3-turn type rotation, this can very well be very powerful. It honestly comes down to, let's say if you're not using Dionysus in this team, you can use him as a makeshift Dionysus that also gives you an attack buff. So it really does depend on the circumstances at hand. Now the question mark with this character or this persona here is, how do we use them? Well, luckily I use this guy as a 3-turn method, and that's mainly because I try to use him last instead of using him first, and I like to do my 3-turn method for damage dealing. Now there's going to be times where you need to use a 2-turn method. Luckily he does fit into this. Just you won't be able to use 3 different personas to get your what's it called, your buffs and debuffs off, but that's just going to come down to whatever's happening at that point in time. So of course it's going to be a little bit different. Now for us, we are trying to make sure we have a debuff on here. It is a AoE debuff, so, or at least this is an AoE fight, so it'd be probably recommended to use someone like Cert who can have an AoE debuff. And then for our where is he at, Jikokuten, we're gonna make him our 3rd persona. This allows us to not only of course get our lovely defense down buff, but get our Terrakaja buff. If we happen to have what's it called, Rebellion on our Alice here, this would have been perfect. Then we'd just go ahead, pop our Rebellion. After Rebellion's off here, which is a 3-turn type buff, we'd be able to go ahead and use our defense down, which is Marukunda. And after that defense down is procced, we can then go ahead and use our Terrakaja, boosting up our attack, which is very, very powerful. But on the off chance that now we don't have this here, we're gonna see if we can swap it up just a little bit here. So let's see, are we the slowest still? No, we are not. We're unfortunately a little bit faster, and that's going to come down just because we happen to have a little bit of our responses here. It's kind of all together, which definitely does kind of suck, but I want him to be a little bit faster than our Joker. So we're going to start as Jikokuten, which you should not do because it's going to proc the passive a weird way, and we don't really want to do that. But we're going to do it this way, just to try and set up the 3-turn that I like to show off here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop off this skill 2, which, okay, someone actually mentioned this yesterday and I'm glad that they did. I always do the skill 2 and skill 3 first, which actually is a little bit scuffed because technicality wise, I'm not supposed to be using the skill 2 first, seeing that this is mainly for a 2-turner. I'm doing 3 turns, it does not work too well, but at the same time, since we're doing a 3-turn, we could technically just refresh it. So it's not really going to hurt us too much in this aspect, seeing we're not trying to do damage early. But if we're doing a 2-turn aspect, you do want to make sure that these 2 are the first you only use, and then you don't want to do the 3rd one in that fashion. It's kind of weird how I'm explaining it, but it's more likely I have like Leon brain rot, so that sometimes happens. So I do apologize. Now, seeing that we're starting this here, we're going to go ahead and use our Revolution buff rather early, get our AoE buff ready, and then this time we're just going to go ahead and do this. Now next round, you could either use Cert first or of course Dionysus. It honestly comes down to you. I should have technically used Cert first because he doesn't have a passive that's actually insanely busted. So I want to redo that because I was just rambling on for a quick second. But we want to use our Cert first because then we can get off, of course, Marukunda. Marukunda is going to last for 3 whole turns. Then we'll go ahead and swap over to Dionysus, who is giving us another crit buff, and then we can swap to our actual attack buffer, which is going to help us out for this 3-turn method. So let's quickly do this over. I accidentally freaking did that way too weirdly, and I do apologize on that one here, but let's go ahead and check this out a little bit. So we got, of course, our Justice Barrier. I'm gonna proc it, of course, get our friendship stacks, which we will be able to, of course, renew due to the 3-turn whole setup. And then this time, we're gonna go ahead and use Marukunda. This is gonna last for 3 whole turns, and we're just gonna set this up like normal. Now, we're unfortunately going to proc, what is it called, the little attack where we get multiple extra turns, which is gonna kind of suck for us because we don't want to do that, especially seeing that we have things a little bit weird here. but I'm gonna do it anyways because at this point in time, like it doesn't really matter too much here. But I'm gonna go ahead and use our little attack up, and actually I might guard with our Joker just to make sure we don't get that proc too early. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this, just use the mermaid song because why not? It's perfectly here. And then now, since we are on our Wonders turn again, let's go ahead and pop off Revolutions because now we can proc that crit damage buff passive, which lasts for 2 whole turns. I'm just gonna block here because I don't really have to attack this dude. I want to make sure they don't die instantaneously. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and just tank this a little bit. And then now we could actually have a little bit of fun. Now, since it's the next round, we're gonna go ahead and use this here. Pop that on off. We're going to refresh our stack, of course, using this once again, giving us our power of friendship stacks immediately. We're then going to pop off with Jikokuten here, or Jikokuten, but Jikokuten, and use our Terukaja. This is going to help us out with a 1 attack buff from Terukaja itself, and then the other buff from Jikokuten. So if we go ahead and look at our Joker right here, we have, of course, our Justice Barrier, we have the power of friendship stacks, we have our defense buff from at least the seashells, Terukaja buff, the revolution buff, the attack up in general, which are multiple attack ups for multiple characters, our actual stack buff right here, crit damage buff immediately from multiple characters as well, and then we have the main crit damage buff is from our what's it called, our Dionysus, another attack up, which is the 16% attack up, which also comes in very much so handy. Now, the main one that we're looking for is the 13.5% attack up, which is pretty nice that we already have it. I think we went past it earlier, or maybe it's a little bit higher over here. But the 13.5% attack up, which is actually pretty dang nasty and pretty nice for us as well. No one else really gets these buffs, as you can see. The only one that they get is, of course, the regular ones, and it's going to be on whoever is your main targeted buff. So surely do keep that in mind when you are doing this. Don't think it's just going to be everyone here. These are single target regular buffs here. So now we have all our buffs in order. I'm just going to go ahead and I guess I can just do this here. Let's just get the extra attack buff from being this one here. And then we're going to use our skill 1, which hopefully should proc everyone. Boom, we get that lovely hit. And unfortunately, since we didn't get our Dionysus low enough here, we did not get that lovely extra turn. I'm so used to having the A6 Joker that I expected him to actually die instantaneously. But we had all the buffs that gave us some supreme damage, and when our Joker is of course built in the future, you guys will be able to see that damage in hand. So still pretty interesting, still pretty awesome to actually see it happen down pack. But you guys let me know, is this something that you are happy with? It is a 3-turn, or at least I use it more as a 3-turn. There are going to be times where you are going to use him as a 2-turner. So let me know, what are you going to try to use it as, what you're going to try and do. But this is all that we're going to talk about for today. So thank you guys for watching the video, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Till next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp. Peace out.